What's going on? I'm in the doctor's office. I have to wear a mask. About to get 42 staples taken out of my knee here. So you guys will get to watch that. If you're a little squeamish, I would skip to this time. After this appointment, I will kind of catch you guys up on why I'm here, why I have 42 staples in my knee, and then we're going to go look at an apartment complex because can't let this slow us down, so stay tuned.
Doing all right?
Yeah, that was the first one I felt. Man, I could have done this at Home Mountain's tool shed.
Yeah, I'll give you one of these. It just goes under it, and this one pushes it down.
Yeah.
And changes the shape. If we don't like it, we just do this and pull really hard.
Honestly, I don't think I'd feel it.
Numb through there?
Pretty much. For the last 15 years.
Did you count them?
42.
35 and a stapler, so you eased a little bit of the second one. That one was enticing to do two at once, but it never works.
I was wondering if you were going to grab them both.
Sometimes you do it inadvertently, but it doesn't usually work. Sometimes you get
that one looks.
That was a little funky. They're just kind of in there cockeyed. What are you doing over the weekend?
My sister and I might go to Lake Placid for lunch.
Nice.
Just something different, you know.
Smoke signals around? You been there?
I haven't. We usually go to the pub there.
Yeah.
It's always good there.
Right on the lake?
Yeah.
Lake, yeah.
I can't remember which one they are. The red Adirondack chair they have.
Yeah. They got the. Is it Uba?
Oop, that's what it is. Yeah. See, up here I have feeling.
Couple more. Almost there. One more. Good job.
Cool. All right, that wasn't so bad, right? That wasn't so bad, right? A couple staples, 42 to be exact. Now I'm sure some of you are wondering why I have 42 staples in my knee. Well, story goes back about 15 years when I was just a young lad, and I had a tumor on my femur, which had really deteriorated my femur, the bone, my knee, and it just wasn't savable. So at 12 years old, they took out the affected bone, did a little treatment for the illness, and they removed the bad bone and put in basically some metal. And 15 years later or so, I think my math is off, I think it's like 17 years later, it's still an issue. A lot of these prostheses that they put in, plastic and metal, it's meant for the older population. I had my first prostheses put in when I was 12, and of course I was a kid, wanted to beat on it, wanted to bike, wanted to play sports. So this is not the first time I broke it. I actually broke it about 7 years ago. I had just arrived at work. I was working in an office. I had parked my truck and I couldn't get out. Like I went from being able to get in the truck driving to not being able to walk. So, and unfortunately this will happen again, probably in another 7 to 10 years. It's really just maintenance. So it's not me that's broken, it's a piece of metal, and I just got to go in, and honestly they They swap it out. I was weight bearing the very next day. My surgery was about 2 weeks ago. I was walking probably 4 days after surgery, and I'm going back to work on Monday. So we just left the doctor's office, and we're gonna go quote a property in a complex. I'll show you a little bit of that when we get there. And if there's another video on it a few weeks from now, then that means I got the job. But let's talk about my knee a little bit more. So right now, I currently have a metal prosthesis, and basically I have a rod that goes up through my femur, and it meets at my knee using a hinge, kind of like a door in your house, and then that connects to a lower piece of implant that goes down into my tibia. Every time I take a step, that metal pin takes a little bit of a beating, more and more. I like to bike, I've been skydiving, I snowboard, I'm obviously up and down ladders and walking on weird angles on roofs. That metal pin over the last 7 years has taken a beating, and over time there's a plastic coating that coats that metal pin. The plastic deteriorates, and then it's just metal on metal rubbing, and eventually that will fracture. So that pin broke. And honestly, it you know, it didn't hurt because, again, it was metal, it wasn't me, but it is quite uncomfortable. It felt as if it felt this way because it's what happened. My tibia, the lower part of my leg, was disconnected from the upper part of my leg at my knee. So I couldn't, I wasn't weight bearing. I couldn't really even stand with crutches because the lower part of my leg was just kind of hanging there, a little bit disconnected. But a couple days later, I was at the orthopedics. They got me in a really nice immobilizing knee brace. It kind of just holds the whole leg together as one unit, and that was really when the up and up kind of started. So I'll throw up a couple pictures here of some x-rays, and you'll be able to see where, I'll show you an old x-ray from 2015, kind of what it looks like when the prosthesis is in good shape, when nothing's wrong, just kind of an annual checkup. And then I'll throw up a couple pictures of recent photos, recent x-rays of what actually happened 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when that pin broke, what some of those x-rays look like. You guys obviously saw the staples coming out of my knee, and now we're healed, now we're ready to go. This is what we're working with. Steri stripped, legs all closed up, pain's gone. You got to get back to work. So it's just something that I have to deal with. It's you might be saying, man, how is this guy getting back like nothing's bothering him? I've been dealing with it for a while. It's nothing new. Been doing this for almost 20 years now, so it just is what it is. And like I said, it'll happen again. You can't let it slow me down. I'm fortunate that I still have a leg. I'm fortunate that I'm alive, and it's just something to deal with. You know, it just is what it is. Got no control. All we can do is just keep moving, right? Best I can. I'm probably going to be done with ladder work for the year. I probably won't be doing any more roof washing this season. Probably won't be doing any gutters, except for maybe I got a couple big ones. I did like a nice $1,300 gutter clean last year for a retirement home community. I got that video on YouTube from last fall. I might be doing that place again, but I'm not going to be marketing. I'm not going to be taking up any new business for ladder work this year. Just kind of take it easy. Before this actually happened, I was thinking about how I could, you want to be safer. I'm out probably done over 200 wash jobs this year, and most of them are house washes. I've had a few good roof washes in there. The roof washing is a nice part of the business, but it's also like the most frustrating. That's where you get callbacks. That's where you're in danger going on roofs, walking on roofs. That's where you're in danger of hurting vegetation when you're running around with that 5 and 6%, running down the gutters and spraying off the roofs. So before this even happened, I was thinking about maybe I'm just going to cut the roof washing out of my business and stick with house washing. I mean, I make a decent amount of money with house washing. Also, way more people want their houses washed than their roofs washed, is what I found. So we'll see. You know, I'm a young guy just starting out here, and I want to be doing this for a while. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make it safer. And I might be going to just house washing and just flat work. an occasional roof wash here and there, something I can spray from a ladder, but you know, we're just trying to be smarter. So might as well show and tell this real quick before I go. So I asked my surgeon if and this guy, he's been my surgeon my whole life, right, since I was just a little kid, so he's, you know, he knows me, he knows I like this weird shit. This little stem went down into my tibia. Okay, this is what someone like me has for a knee. This was in my knee. This last surgery, what this scar is from, this is what had been agitated and what needed to be fixed. So this connected to a rod that goes up into my tibia, or I'm sorry, up into my femur, and this goes down to my tibia. The two locked together like that, like a joint, and then there was a pin that goes through there, and that pin breaks over time. So my doctor took this piece out, and put new components in and a new pin, and we're ready to go. So I mean, modern medicine, modern technology, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This was in my knee 2 weeks ago, and here I am on camera talking to you guys, going to look at jobs. Where will we be in the future? Where will we be in the future? So appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that wasn't you know, too gross for some of you. Okay, all right, so here we are. This place isn't too bad. It's a little smaller than a lot of the other properties that we've been to. There are some carports over here which are mainly brick. We'll get a little closer to this in a minute. The car ports brick down by the bottom, and the bottom of a lot of the doors are green. Unlike the other property, most of the brick here is clean, so they have really asked me to quote the vinyl, which, as you can see, if you look at these buildings, they're pretty sizable, but there's not a whole lot of vinyl. So let's take a walk around. These are all the fronts. Kind of want to see if we can sneak in a back corner over here and get on the back side. The back side of these places tend to be the worst. There's a nice little stone path going through here. So here we go. As you get back in here behind the trees, and you start to see that siding really change color. It's just a little darker. It's really not too bad. We can come through here with a pretty light mix of tin. So far it looks like. Let's see what's back here on this corner. The height looks okay. We're not gonna have any issue with height. This is a little shorter than a lot of the other buildings. To get up to some of this trim, we'll be working probably from the rock. That corner is in the shade. My eyes are probably a little bit better than what the lens can pick up. I'll have to look later when I edit it, but that up in there is really dirty. It might look like just a shade on the camera, but yeah, this will be a fun one. This will be a good one to quote. Be pretty quick, even with me recovering. I think we can get right through here pretty quickly, because again, I mean, we're not going to be doing too much brick. If I'm back here washing this, little spots like that can probably be cleaned up. But like the back of this building, look at this. There's the vinyl, needs to be washed. Don't have to do any balconies. It's all brick, doesn't look too bad. Gonna get some green off down there. That looks pretty grimy right there. So all in all, I think we'd be looking at a pretty light mix. Oh. They're also, the length of these buildings are a lot shorter. The perimeter of that last property that I was working on was like 600 feet, right? That's why I had to split the buildings up, so my hoses weren't long enough. These buildings, it's dirty up in there, look at that. These buildings are about half the size of those other buildings too. So up in here, dirty. Really not bad. There's buildings all out over that way. Okay, we were just over there walking around some of these buildings, backside of here. We got 1, 2 buildings here, which all are basically the same level of dirtiness. We've got 1 here. I think there's 10 buildings here overall. I'd have to look at Google Maps again and do the aerial shot, but got a couple down here. Let's walk around the back. The backs are typically the worst. So when you're walking around quoting any sort of job, whether it's residential or this, we'll talk about commercial because we're here looking at commercial stuff. While you're walking around, you need to be looking at where are your water sources. How long do you think this is going to take? What kind of chem do I need to use? 1%, 5%? What are my obstacles? Where's the hose going to go? Because the building might only be, let's say, 200 feet, right? 200 feet all the way around. But then you've got this. So this adds to your length. It's no longer 200 feet anymore. It might be 215, 230. We got railings, we got walls. We're only doing the vinyl and some brick. You know, some of that stuff I'm gonna hit. Like this will be really easy to clean. We're right underneath it. But now, logistically, what I would probably do is just run my hose right down here and clean all this section, climb down the wall maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see what we got to do, but have to bring a small ladder around. Want to be thinking about all that stuff because all of that goes into your quote. You need to be thinking that you need to cover your time here, your expenses here, your labor here. It gets easier as you go. You figure out what you want to make. Now, I am not up against competition for these. This is the 3rd property from this property management group. I have a feeling that next year we're going to have a bunch more. That's also really nice when you're quoting. You know, you want to know if you're up against other numbers. A little dirty up in there. So there's a water spigot right there. Last time I was here driving around, I noticed that every building had external water spigots, which is nice. The first property that I was on had sprinkler rooms, which were kind of annoying because there's only one hookup. But like over there, I can see one. And we just saw one back there. I think every building has externals, so that's all stuff you want to figure out. That stone wall looks like it's going to go one of these days. So not bad. All in all, this will be a nice project. We're going to put a quote in. I don't think we're going to have any problem getting it, and we should be here in a week or so. And try to get some stuff done. I still got a couple buildings that I need to finish on one of their other properties. I had hurt my knee right in the middle of that. I guess more, not so much the middle. I was almost done. I think I got like 3 days left there. They've been really patient. They're really great. And then they want me to do here. So we're gonna try to get right back to it. Get back to some of this commercial stuff. And we are in September right now. So now I know I shoot videos all over the place and publish them all over the place. But right now it's September. There's another one. There's a water spigot. It's September. The season's still going. I still got some time before plow season. So we'll be working. I think I'm going to finish up this complex that I was working on. We're going to come here. We're going to come here. We're going to finish, or we're going to do this place. Should be in and out of here in a couple days because it's not a whole lot. And we're going to get back to some residential. And I'm hoping to wash maybe another month or so. I want to kind of catch up for the time that I had off. If you know, you gotta like weigh the scales, right? You can work from April 1st up until it snows if you want to. But we've had a good year. If I didn't get hurt in August, I might have been getting ready to be done, take fall off, a little break between winter. Now I can't really do that. I shouldn't say that I can't really do that. I don't want to do that. Still getting a lot of calls. I got a lot of unanswered voicemails that I haven't been able to get to just because I wasn't sure what my timeline was for getting back. So I think we're going to be pretty busy into October and November, and we'll see. But I would like to we'll like to call it quits here and enjoy a little bit of the fall. So we'll see where it goes, see where it takes us.